podcasting.
Okay,
little UHF humor for you there.
we all ready to
Are we live?
record? We're recording. We're gonna record.
Are
I'm recording.
we live? Oh, I should.
Yep.
I am also recording on my microphone.
All recording.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's get the clap. 3, 2, 1. Good enough. All right.
That was about as off as I've ever heard a sound.
Yep. Well, you know, CJ's not here. The editing is going to suck anyway, so who cares?
Okay. Good to know.
Hello and welcome to episode 526 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 6th, 2016. I'm your host, Greg Seward. Chris Johnson is away on location at the PlayStation Experience, and by on location, I mean he's going to be contributing absolutely nothing to this show. But I hope he's having a good time.
How?
Exactly. He is sending back pictures of himself with PaRappa the rapper, so
That's
you know,
true.
I feel like that was patron money well spent.
Well, especially since they're compromising pictures.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely getting PaRappa on the show after this.
Playing patty cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that from?
What's what from?
Oh, Roger Rabbit, right.
Roger Rabbit, brother.
I knew I'd get there
Right.
eventually. The memory of the terrible NES game is overtaking the memory of the wonderful movie.
Oh, that's
Is the problem. I have played way more of that NES game than I've seen the movie in the last 15 years. So, yeah, it's a little much. With me, as always, co-host from the West Coast. Well, our first co-host from the West Coast,
Yeah.
Mr. Filthy Abald.
That's me. Hey.
And staring out his window, enjoying the sunset, we have Ethan Einhorn.
very nice. And again, every single time you open the door, I'm resisting that urge to go on a 15-minute tirade, and I'm
feel
going to
like-
resist it here.
I feel like we're helping you because we're building up your ability to do that.
Yeah.
Just think
Yeah.
of Ethan Einhorn from like 10 weeks ago. 10-week-old Ethan.
Yeah.
No, not 10-week-old Ethan. Ethan from 10 weeks ago would not be able to resist that. And now you
That's
can.
true.
You've
That's true.
grown.
Yeah.
How
I can
do you
even
grow?
say bunghole in one.
Look at that.
See?
Not without doing a goofy voice, though. Just
I
say it
gotta
straight.
do-
Just say
No,
it straight.
no,
Just
no.
say Beavis and Butthead, bunghole in one.
Beavis and Butthead.
There it is. Yes!
No.
Yes!
See, I can do it if I
gotta-
change
you
my
gotta-
voice so it's not me saying it.
Bunghole in one!
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, hey guys, I broke out of crunch time to be here and spend time with you. So
I hope you have team members watching right now, watching the live stream. So they
Yeah.
see what they
Definitely
gave
will be.
up. What you know. Yeah.
This is what we're paying this guy for.
that's right.
So
Yep.
there's a whole lot of stuff released, a whole lot of trailers released this week.
Well,
Lot of
Greg,
Mhm.
I don't know if you've heard, but this past week was the Hollywood Awards for gaming.
Yes.
Oh right.
Have you seen this?
Yes. The 2016 Keeleys,
Yes,
brought to you by Doritos and Mountain Dew.
I get it.
And Chick, which, oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, first of all, do not disrespect the Dorito Pope. I won't have that.
You know, I'm going to say this because I spent that night live snarking the whole thing, which,
Yeah.
you know, puts me in line with about 90% of the internet. But,
Of course.
you know,
Yeah.
so I feel like I really contributed.
Yeah.
But I got to say, I respect what Jeff has done because he
Yeah.
Oh,
built
sure.
that from nothing. And I have to say that for all the crap that I think all of us give, we all really respect the fact that he's built that out of nothing. The sad fact of the matter is
Yeah.
to do that, the advertising is, it's thick.
You know what? I respect Jeff for somehow turning that boggle roll of a first name of his into the name Jeff. That's my big.
Is that not a common way to spell Jeff where you're from?
it-
I know a lot of people named like with the
Do you really?
Jeff name spelled that way.
Really?
With the name Jeff spelled that way, yeah.
No, it's always well for me. It's always been J-E.
And I mean, Jeff is Canadian, so
Oh, well, that's it. That's where we're. I don't want to say there's your problem, but there's your problem.
He has, to be fair, taken on a pretty impossible task, and whenever possible, he's worked hard to make people like us happy, as opposed to people like the I only buy Madden Call of Duty audience.
Although it's funny because that audience gets disrespected pretty bad every year because they have that sort of catch-all. Hey, here's the award we're going to give for sports and racing games.
Yes,
all in one category. Like but yeah, so the video game awards were a thing. Still a lot of things I don't like about it. It really is just a chance to release a bunch of trailers.
Of course.
It's still miles better than it was when it was on Spike.
It's going to the movies to watch the previews.
Pretty much.
This is the first year I can remember where the game that won Best Game I haven't played yet. I own it. I actually have it sitting in its cellophane, but I haven't been interested enough to jump in and play it.
And that was Overwatch, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that gets me about that, though, is that it really wants to be the Oscars of video games.
Right.
But it's only 2 hours long. And they give away awards. They announce them as afterthoughts almost always. I think they gave away like 4 or 5 awards in the entire show.
It's designed as a show. It'd be like if we turned on the Academy Awards and it was, now here's the preview trailer for Star Wars Rogue One.
Right.
It's.
Well, like and the thing that's weird, I think the Oscars can get away with having mind-numbing hours provided to best foreign short film because they also have Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. You know what I mean? It's like that's the star power there overrides the bore factor.
Right, which is why, like I say, I get it. I get why it is the way it is. I'm just sad that it has to be the way it is.
Yeah,
right.
That's all. Yeah, like and I also feel really weird about some of the choices too. Like it's like I say, the a lot of the awards are given away kind of like, oh, by the way, we gave these awards away. Here are the winners. Bullet point, bang, 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 bang. Next trailer, and one of them that they really glossed over was best RPG of 2016 was The Witcher 3 DLC, which I love Witcher 3. And maybe I'm not following the RPG scene as closely as I should, but really? Like, I don't know. It just seemed weird to me. I will say, though, it was really cool to see That Dragon Cancer win the category that seems like it was built for that game, just so they could get an award. But it was still really great to see Ryan Green come up on stage and give a heartbreaking acceptance speech. Like he just, because I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, That Dragon Cancer is, of course, based on Ryan's son who died from cancer. They started the game while he was still alive just to sort of illustrate their journey, but he did pass away before the game was completed. So the man was standing on stage talking about his dead son, which, oh my God, I can't even fathom. Yeah. Like the bravery that took is just off the charts. So it was great to see that. It was a shame that it was sandwiched in between things like Chic Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I didn't watch the actual awards, but I did see you tweeting about it, and so you did have actual like a guy dressed as an anthropomorphic. Yeah,
there was a dude dressed as a robot with a razor. He looked like Monitor, but with a razor for a head.
But so he's kind of dancing around while.
It wasn't while Ryan was on stage, but I mean, it was just the absurdity of it. And then you had this one moment that was very real and very brutally honest and raw emotion. And it's just like, it felt like it took away from it. And the other thing that I have to say is, if you haven't already, watch at the very beginning of the show, Jeff comes out and awards Hideo Kojima a Lifetime Achievement Award. And if you remember last year, there was a big deal made about the fact that
he couldn't make it.
He wasn't allowed to come and accept award for Metal Gear Solid 5. Right, because of his dispute with Konami, because he was still technically employed by Konami, but he wasn't allowed to come accept the award. And Jeff made a big rightfully so. We made a big deal about that last year, and he sort of tore Konami a new one on air. So this year, Kojima was there, and the drama surrounding giving him this award, you've got to go watch it. Jeff is basically breaking down on stage. He's in tears.
Would you say that? Well, let me ask you this: Do you ship Keighley and Kojima?
Do I what?
Do you ship them?
Do I ship them?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Do you have fan fiction where the two of them are a romantic couple?
You kind of have to think they are after that, but
yeah.
No, it's just like, and I get it, but he's talking about the struggle he went through and his life fell apart, and like this was Jeff talking about Kojima. Kojima was just sitting in the crowd the whole time.
Yeah.
And how he put his life back together, and he made it sound like he was at death's door, he just made it sound like it was a major tragedy in his life,
right?
And it set a terrible tone just because it was so over the top. And then the best thing was he starts talking about, my favorite part about it is he starts talking about how because Kojima wasn't allowed to come and accept an award from MGS5 last year, he wanted to give it to him.
Yeah.
And he starts going into this story about how he tried to give it to him. It's like, so I figured I'd fly to Japan and give him his award. But he wouldn't tell me where he works. He wouldn't tell me the location of his new studio. So then I thought maybe I'd go to his home, or he was thinking he was staying in California or something like that, and I'd go visit him personally, but I couldn't. He said, no, I don't want you to visit. And I'm sitting there like, Jeff, I don't think he likes you. I don't think he wants you to know where he is. Like,
yeah,
clearly not the case. They're apparently very good friends, but it was just the way. Go watch it. It's funny, and
it's truly heartbreaking what happened to Kojima. It's just a horrible tragedy. I can't think of anything more sad and disappointing and heartbreaking than just what Konami did to Kojima-sama, and it just horrible, just crime against humanity, and just the worst possible thing. And now here's a guy who made a game about his kid or something. That Dragon Cancer, ladies and
gentlemen. And that's the thing. It was funny already, but then the absurdity of it was thrown into stark relief when you have a man who comes up and talks about the game he built around the experience of his child dying.
Yeah.
Greg, indulge me for just a minute here. Stephen Frost worked at Sega with him, and he was at PlayStation Magazine before that. We used to have an ongoing joke that it would be great at a Sony press conference if Phil Harrison said, and now I'd like to introduce a special guest, and then Miyamoto walks on stage, and they just look each other in the eyes for 3 minutes, just smiling at each other, and Phil Harrison simply says, "Thank you. I needed that." And then Miyamoto walks back on stage, and that's the end of the segment, right? Something that just is bizarre. And it was funny to us because, of course, that would never happen, but it sounds like it came damn near happening.
You got to watch it. Go look it up.
Let me ask you this real quick, Ethan.
Yeah.
Stephen Frost.
Yeah.
I know Stephen. Great guy. Great guy. At work, did you guys ever call him Bad Mr. Frosty?
Oh God.
No, we did call him Frosty though.
Really?
But not Bad Mr. Frosty.
But you didn't
go more like in the movie Aliens than the game Clay Fighter.
Right. Oh, also one other thing. So with James Milkey saying that The Last Guardian might end up being one of his top 5 games ever. And a lot of people excited about that game with Dead Rising 4 not out yet. The one other thing that I think is strange about the awards is when they happen, because they cut off games that haven't come out yet that might actually be awesome.
I think they had to come out by November 24th or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they'll include anything that came out after that next year. I mean, he has to have a cutoff somewhere. You can't have the 2016 Video Game Awards in January sometime. It's not gonna work. So
sure.
I know that because we have the Canadian Video Game Awards up here that's spearheaded by Victor Lucas of Electric Playground and his production company, and I know that they struggled with that as well, because they actually ended up, because they had the timing in a bad place at one point, they actually skipped a year and then made it up by having 2-year awards or something like that.
Hmm.
So anyway, CVGAs are coming up as well. But the thing is, talking about Kojima, there was the new Death Stranding trailer.
Yep.
That was interesting. Didn't see Norman Reedus in it, but looked like Guillermo del Toro.
Yes. Which, as an aside, you saw his tweet, right?
About how stupid Konami was for canceling Silent Hill.
That wasn't the words he used, but yes.
Yeah. And I have
the word
to say,
he used was redonkulous.
No.
No? I must have been reading someone else's tweets.
Well, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it was just F Konami, but he spelled the whole thing out.
Probably got Jim Sterling to write the tweet for him.
Yeah.
I have to say, I mean, it was a cool trailer. It was just as nonsensical as any Kojima production trailer is, especially a teaser. Some cool imagery, interesting sort of biomechanical.
Bioorganic weaponry.
Yeah. That looks like it was taken over by some sort of biological thing. But got to admit, really excited at the end when the character, the other human character that appears is Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
Which I'm a big fan personally. So, that's cool.
Yeah. It just strikes me as
still no idea what's going on, but
coming out of Steam Dev Days, one thing they really hammered on over there was how important it was that your trailer make clear what the gameplay is in the first 5 seconds. I mean, they're really focused on that. And I know that this is a different type of approach to market, right? There's anticipation that's leading into a game that doesn't even come out for another year. But it's just interesting that you look at these trailers and they look cool, but they don't give you any sense of what the game is. And they get your expectations up to where, frankly, I'll be a little disappointed if it's just like something that plays like Watch Dogs 2 or something.
Yeah, I mean... but that's what works for Kojima. It always has, ever since Metal Gear Solid 2, really.
Right.
I expect it to play like Metal Gear. I really do.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Like, what else would it be? But again, and I do want to sit down because I'm sure there's been tons of people breaking the imagery down and pointing at all the little hidden, like things like the fact that the fetus in the jar that Del Toro was carrying, when it wakes up, opens its right eye, and then the little baby doll, when it bumps into Mikkelsen's feet, opens its right eye, and just stuff like that. So, yeah, fetus in a jar. Fetus in the jar of the game. Death Stranding, fetus in a jar.
Boy, those facial animations look incredible, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's almost photorealistic. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's how you knew it was Guillermo. I can't say that name right. Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
Because it didn't say that, funnily enough. His name was not on the trailer, but it's clearly him. One of the other major trailers, I guess, was actually a Let's Play style video with Zelda. New footage from Zelda. Gotta say, it was kind of a letdown. I'm saying that as someone who personally isn't crazy about the idea of this game right now anyway, but I'd say even for somebody who's really excited about it, it didn't show anything new.
Right.
It showed a different area.
Did you really expect something new, though? I mean, they're not saying anything even about the Switch until January.
True, and that's probably why they didn't show anything new. You're right, but I kind of hope maybe they'd show what a dungeon's going to look like and some actual gameplay of it. Something like that.
Well, we had an entire E3 where all they showed was footage of Breath of the Wild.
I thought that was all out. Yeah, I know that. Anyway, didn't. I also felt like it brought for as much as I'm laughing at the fact that the show was one big commercial, brought the show to a screeching halt.
Right.
Yeah.
Completely killed the pacing of it.
Well, the other thing is, we don't know if we're looking at Wii U footage or Switch or if there's any difference at all.
I would hope it's Wii U footage.
Yeah.
I would imagine it is.
I would expect it is, yeah.
I'm sure if it wasn't, they would have made a big deal of it.
Yeah. A couple other things that were shown there that I was personally excited about. Guardians of the Galaxy teaser trailer from Telltale.
Yes.
Very excited about that.
Nothing actually shown, but...
No, literally just the title.
Yeah.
But again, I think that the Telltale team over there has the writing chops to do that. And Justin Lambros is over there, Mike Gallo's over there. So guys from outlets like Lucas Games and Marvel Games, really, really solid management to run a game like that respectfully.
Oh yeah, for sure. Another Telltale,
and if no, I'm just thinking, you really want to show proper respect to the game about the talking tree and raccoon.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's that Dragon Cancer, and then Guardians of the Galaxy right below it in terms of.
You guys played that Dragon Cancer by any chance?
I have no desire to, just because I don't
want to cry in front of your computer.
Yeah, basically.
Because you will.
I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure it's moving and heartbreaking, and I just I am not in a place where I want to deal with that.
Yeah,
especially, with the kid and of my own and everything.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and it's weird because I'm okay with a game like this, War of Mine, or something that's really depressing, but not set in such a relatable context.
Nothing that you can really relate to. Well, I don't know. Give your country a couple years.
Ha.
Thanks. Things are going to change in January, so 7 weeks.
Oh,
Stop
boy.
it.
Sorry. No, you're right, though, and that's the thing. Like, we're all fathers here, fathers of small children here. And I mean, even you don't have to be a parent, though, to relate to that game, because especially if you know somebody who suffered or died due to cancer, which unfortunately a lot of people do.
Sure. Well, anyway. even if it's not a close family member, it's like we've all known people at work that have suffered from that, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Andy Barron, good example of that.
Yeah, true.
But moving on to happier things, another Telltale trailer that actually showed some gameplay, which was the new season of Walking Dead.
Yep.
Yeah,
looks interesting.
Showing gameplay is not really that meaningful when you're talking about this.
But I gotta say that they're still going with their whole sort of comic book style, which has worked really well in the past.
Yeah,
I don't like how it looked in that trailer because it feels like the texture quality's gone way up. Like they look like they're textured almost too realistically, but then they still have those really heavy line work,
right,
on the edge of the characters and like their noses and their facial details and everything, and it doesn't jive well at all. Like it's really jarring, I find.
Yeah.
But I think there was a Clementine sighting, so that was cool.
Yes, there was, right at the end.
So, other stuff in there that was exciting: Shovel Knight prequel, Spectre of Torment.
And it's great because Shovel Knight is such an incredibly replayable game. I'm playing through it again now, actually, and having a blast.
It's awesome.
It is great.
Yeah. And I mean, this looks great, obviously.
It's like Castlevania.
It does.
Looks a lot like Castlevania.
It looks way more like Castlevania now. Before there's sort of there was an echo of Castlevania in the previous game, in the original game, but
but this looks like
it.
Straight Castlevania homage.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for.
Dead Rising, the Christmas trailer was awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It looks just extremely stupid, which I love.
Well, I love Frank West. So
he's covered wars, The Black Friday is nothing if not a war. And then the other big thing that they showed at the end, which I think was a little bit of a letdown, was the Mass Effect Andromeda trailer.
You know what? I showed that to my wife, who is a big Mass Effect fan, and she said she was excited for it, though.
Well,
I'm sure, but that's the brand. That's like my saying I'm excited about the new Zelda game. The footage didn't look fantastic, but I'm excited nonetheless.
It looks like No Man's Sky, but with a game attached to it.
Yes.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
The character, the thing with me was
the color choices.
Animation was terrible. I found the character models, especially the facial models and the animation, just looked crap.
I don't know. I have no opinion.
Apparently not. All right. So moving on. So that was, Game Awards again, another year. It's getting a little bit better, but it's still just steeped in marketing, and not not the good kind. I'd be okay with a bunch of commercials, which there were definitely a lot of those too.
Yeah.
But just the whole thing, like Schickman, was just, oh my God, what are you doing? And they kept flashing back to a red carpet area where they were showing people playing the VR experience for the Assassin's Creed movie. But I don't know. They were talking about exclusive sneak peek of Assassin's Creed movie. It's like, haven't they been advertising that movie for months now? How is that an exclusive sneak peek?
Yeah, you know.
Anyway, brought to you by Microsoft and Doritos and blah, 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 blah. The other thing that's happening, and I'm not going to go through all the stuff on here because there's been a ton of games shown at the PlayStation Experience 2016, which is where CJ is.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Last of Us Part 2.
Wait, WoW? Yeah. They showed WoW there?
They have actually not shown WoW there.
They have a new expansion for WoW?
No. Destiny. But WoW is in, what a whole lot of games they've shown.
They have shown a lot.
I would say also that NEC 2 is unnecessary, but I'm excited about Crash Bandicoot.
You know what, though? If NAC 2 was coming out for Vita, you would be
all over that.
Pooping your pants right now.
God, we'd be hearing about it for the next 6 months.
I would not be all over it or pooping my pants. I'd definitely buy it, but it would sit in the cellophane in the K section, not to be played until maybe 10 years from now.
Section. What the hell was... Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What else is in your K section right now on your Vita shelf?
We'll have to see. Give me a second. You keep talking there, Greg. Keep talking.
Anyway, so we've mentioned a couple things here. So NAC 2.
Yeah.
NAC 2.
Yeah, whatever.
I feel like that's not. I think Ethan's right. It's unnecessary. The only thing that had going for it originally was that it was like the first game for the system.
It was the launch game. Yeah.
It does look like it has couch co-op, which is cool.
Uh-oh.
That was disappointing. It was only Killzone Mercenaries. So I guess I would be more excited because it would add to my K collection.
Oh, okay. Well, then, maybe one of these days.
So anyway, NAC 2, co-op play seems like the only thing that looks really interesting there. And it looks like there's a bunch of new co-op moves, which is nice, but I won't spend full price on that. The Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, which is basically the first 3 games remastered.
This is the part of the show where we have to... This is the part of the show where we have to pretend that the Crash Bandicoot games were fun.
Thank you.
They were fun.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm. They were not great games.
Oh, they were not Mario 64.
Crash Bandicoot was never good.
But you're right this time. Yeah. For some reason, this is the PlayStation experience where we have to pretend that
we love Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot was good, and that for some reason Windjammers is a game people care about.
What the hell? I keep seeing it. It was like, why is there, like, I didn't realize that's what it was. I just kept seeing the name pop up. I'm like, why is Windjammers all over my feed?
Wait. Before Windjammers, I want to go back for a second to Crash, because look, Spyro, not so good, right? Donkey Kong 64, not so good. Even Kaya, I have to admit,
Spyro, the first Spyro is better than the Crash Bandicoot games.
I would agree with that.
No way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
No
way. Yeah, for sure way.
Mm-mm. Crash Bandicoot was a very impressive technical game.
Yeah.
It was.
It looked excellent for a PS1 game.
Yes, it did.
And that, to me, is why... And the marketing was great. Those wonderful ads they had where he was standing out in front of Nintendo's headquarters.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Fantastic stuff. Very 90s Sega, by the way.
Oh yeah, but it ages so much better than like Toshinden or Jumping Flash or Ridge Racer. Come on.
Have you played it recently on the PS1?
Yeah, well, I played it recently on the PSP. Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot's not.
I don't know. I never thought it was that good.
No.
So you guys are not going to get it?
God, no.
No.
I've never been a Crash Bandicoot fan.
Listeners of the show, rest assured, you will at least have one person on the show that will buy it and play it and talk about it happily.
More money than sense.
Yep. More exciting.
Yeah.
Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
Yes.
So excited. I mean, we all knew it was coming, but it was nice to see that, nice to see a trailer.
And the movie is at a standstill right now, right? They're not moving forward right now on the film?
I have no idea.
Who cares?
Well, no, because frankly, I I would prefer that not happen before Last of Us 2. I just kind of like the idea of it just, having only the first game as its predecessor.
We don't need a movie.
What is that? I'm drawing a blank. What is the character's name? Is it Ellie?
Ellie,
yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she looks like quite a badass in
Yep.
that trailer. It's interesting. Yep. She's definitely out for blood.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Out to take revenge on Skelesier.
Skelesier?
Yep.
Suck my... Anyway. Family show. Yeah, I mean, it was just a story trailer. Excuse me.
Oh my gosh.
Just a story trailer. No gameplay shown. Who cares? Yeah. It's going to be great. Last of Us Part 2.
She's just playing her guitar. This is Ellie's desperate search in the post-apocalyptic world for a new guitar string.
Yep.
That's what happens. She's playing and the string breaks and she's got to go find a cat to yank a whisker off for her new guitar.
It'll be interesting.
For a minute, I
see...
thought you were saying she was going to restring her tennis racket or something.
No.
Okay.
No, I was making a Tom and Jerry reference.
Gotcha.
It will be interesting to see if the best game ever released on PS4 winds up being a sequel to the best game ever released on PS3.
Yeah. True. Speaking of that,
that's
not all Naughty Dog is doing. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
Oh yeah.
So Uncharted, the main story is done,
mm-hmm.
but we're now having we have a spin-off starring Chloe Frazer.
Uncharted Gaiden.
Yes. Trailer was great. Looked really good.
I haven't watched it yet.
You should go check it out. It's
I need to.
It's mostly a stealth trailer. It's all about like infiltrating this building, and then I just gave away the surprise. Chloe Frazer is the character you're watching. She's covered up for most of the trailer.
I knew. I mean, of
course, she's all over the thumbnails for the trailers anyway.
Well, that's just it. Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, the other character that's at the end of it is I can't remember her name, but she was in Uncharted 4 as well.
Oh, okay.
She was the head of the private army. The mercenaries. So anyway, looks awesome. So a lot of Naughty Dog goodness happening there. Just great.
That's good. You're just talking about that makes me want to play the single player Uncharted 4 again.
I'm glad you pointed that out because I would have thought you meant the multiplayer.
I would go back and watch the movie sections, the story sections again.
I still haven't finished Uncharted 4.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I think it's worth finishing.
The game's ending is prety great.
I need to get back into it.
No, but I mean the gameplay itself, it's worth playing. I'm not as crazy about it as Ethan is. More remasters. So apparently this is a thing. So PaRappa the Rapper remaster, which we'll talk about later because I didn't even realize the demo was out until I watched the trailer tonight.
Yeah.
But this is the beginning of a few different remasters they're doing. I mean, we've got Crash Bandicoot, obviously. They also advertised a Loco Roco remaster.
Yeah.
And there was one other one.
Petapone,
right.
Yeah.
So,
Petapone is great.
Is wonderful, too.
Yeah, it was great.
Petapone is really great, but man, do I love Loco Roco. I really love Loco Roco.
Well, and I think that
a lot.
That combined with what we seem to understand Nintendo is doing by bringing back a lot of titles as more of a remaster than a full sequel, I dig that. I can totally get behind the idea of getting a kind of best version of.
I like it. I don't like that Nintendo seems to be reaching back only to the previous generation. And Sony was doing the same thing at the beginning of the PS4, and I think Microsoft was too, to a point.
Yeah.
I like that everything we're talking about here is basically a PSP or a PS1 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is great.
You know what breaks my heart, though, about the PaRappa remaster?
The frame rate looked terrible in the trailer.
That looked...
you've played it.
Yeah. But it would have been fine just calling it PaRappa the Rapper Remastered. They really didn't have to call it PaRappa the Rapper Remastered 20th Anniversary Edition to remind me how
old you are,
horribly old I am.
But
PaRappa the Rapper is 20 years old.
But that illustrates my point. It's been 20 years, so yes, please bring on a remaster.
Yeah,
it's been 4 years. Oh my God, let's release a remaster because we need something for our new console.
Exactly.
A couple other things in there real quick. We're not going to talk about too much. love that there was a Gran Turismo Sport trailer. This is more for me, where they were talking about HDR, 4K, and it's a VR game, which I don't know whether that had been confirmed before. We all thought it was going to be, and now we know for sure. At least now I know for sure that it is, which is great for me. Ni no Kuni 2.
Yeah.
Cool to hear that that's coming. Looks gorgeous, of course. Ys Origin was apparently shown.
Yes.
Yeah, that's got Phil written all over it.
Yeah. Ys Origin, good stuff.
Lara Croft Go coming to the PS4. That's cool.
Yeah, It's an awesome game.
Are they going to do Hitman as well, do you think? Or
I would love it if they did. Deus Ex Go is great.
Yeah, Deus Ex, right. That's the other one.
Those are the best games on mobile.
They are great games. Absolutely. And anyway, just a ton of games. I mean, that's just scratching the surface. Like, I was going through the PlayStation YouTube channel, and there's just tons of stuff there right now. So they're, man, PlayStation experience this year. Lots and lots and lots of games.
Yep.
I was going to bring up Marvel vs. Capcom as well, but it looks like you've played that as well, Phil. So,
well, I just they announced the new one. Right. They announced the new one. Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is the new game.
So that's which basically the Street Fighter V engine. Is that what that is?
I have no idea about those.
I don't know anything about it yet.
Last thing I want to do is start making guesses and get the fighting game community.
No, do it.
Mad at me.
Say CJ told you.
It's running on the Street Fighter EX Plus Alpha engine.
I hate you.
And Skullomania is unlockable, and it's the new Marvel Capcom game. They actually are doing another one.
So I hope this time they just did a 10-year distribution contract or something, because those games over and over again get pulled from the stores.
Well, that's just it, yeah. Because the previous one, Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3, has been unavailable for a couple years now, I believe, and they finally just got all the licensing stuff figured out to get it re-released. It's the one that I played this week is the PS4 version of Ultimate MVC 3.
Nice.
Yeah, which they just put out for like $25, and then the new one, I guess they've eliminated any of the X-Men characters. And it sounds like it's going to be tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
like you do.
You're probably not going to be controlling.
But I mean, come on, Marvel vs. Capcom without the Berserker Barrage.
Yeah,
that's that whole game to me.
What is it?
Berserker Barrage.
Holy cow! All this time I've been calling it the Birthday Cake Barrage.
It's the Canadian accent that does it.
Birthday Cake Barrage! That's what I thought.
Stop it.
Never.
Let's
rocket launcher.
Let's jump into what you've been playing, since you're already talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Okay.
You go for it.
That game ages well, huh?
I've been playing. Well, I mean, it ages well. It's what, 3 years old, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, they probably didn't make any cosmetic changes to bring it to PS4, and it's just a beautiful game.
It's a nice looking game. It's weird. It's weird playing that game because one of the playable characters is Rocket Raccoon, and that game predates the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so it's weird playing the game and have Rocket talk with he's got an accent. He doesn't sound like Bradley Cooper. So that's kind of weird.
I think Seabake is in the credits for.
I believe he is.
Yeah, he worked on that game.
Yeah, there was an article in PocketGamer.biz that was asking what's the best mobile Marvel game, and I posted on that and vexed some of my friends at Demiurge and at Kabam by saying the clear answer was Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom on Vita, because you get all the characters you want.
Talking about a Vita game, that's weird.
Yeah. For just $20, but yeah, it is a great game, and it has a great roster also.
Next time I talk about a Dynasty Warriors game, you guys can't say anything.
I can say whatever I want. I just glossed over Gran Turismo Sport. I literally spent 5 seconds on that.
Oh
So
man,
I won't say anything for 5 seconds. Then it's
I
fair.
dived in. For Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3 though, just to have it. So I do have the Vita version though. I believe it was a PS Plus game at one point before they yanked it.
Okay.
Back in the day.
So you have it digitally then? Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Cool.
I own one physical. This is going to be like the sun on a vampire's skin to Ethan. He's going to recoil and hiss. But I only own one physical Vita game.
Me too. I own
that
two.
Is what?
Uncharted, Golden Showers, and the first Hot Shots.
Okay, first of all, you show some damn respect. It is Golden Abyss. It has nothing to do with urination. No,
really?
Yeah.
No, what's my nation have to do with it?
What's the other one you own, Greg?
Hot Shots.
Hot Shots.
Hot Shots is great too.
Good game.
I don't understand you guys because I am almost at 200 physical cards.
Oh my god, man!
Yeah, have fun swapping.
Who knew
those
there were even
things
200
out.
Vita games out there?
So when you because I seem to remember hearing someplace or maybe about 25 places that you like to carry your Vita with you all the time. Do you have a little satchel that you carry all the physical games in when you want to swap out and play different games, or?
No, actually, the one true bummer that my old OLED cracked is.
Do you have like a Chewbacca bandolier that you wear across your chest, and just each little pocket has a game in there?
That'd be great.
No, I don't have that.
He's like a chipmunk. He just stores them in his cheek pouches.
Well, they are small.
Yeah, but that's just it. You could fit a lot in there.
Yes. No, when I'm going on.
You up for some Gravity Rush, Ethan? Here we go. Yeah,
you're like the penguin in Madagascar.
You know what? If I could do what Phil is suggesting, which is just to vomit them up, provided it didn't damage the cartridges, I'd think about it. I'd do that.
They're sturdy little chips, I'm sure.
Yeah. You should give it a shot. I mean, if you screw one up, who cares? You've got like 199 other ones.
Right.
I would imagine that if you keep them out of the stomach, they would be fine. If you just keep them in your mouth, the little labels on them might become damaged, but
that's no good then. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on.
Okay.
It's enough of this crap.
Oh man, Ethan, can you guess what one physical Vita game I own?
Hot Shots.
Yeah, I would actually guess Gravity Rush.
Gravity Rush is the better guess, but you're both wrong. The answer is Ease Memories
of Calcutta.
Okay.
Yes, of Salsetta.
I have that one.
I have the limited edition version of that. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Very nice.
You bet it is, Einhorn.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Wow.
So I played a little Marvel. Played some Marvel, baby, and I'm not good at fighting games.
No, me neither.
So I didn't bother playing online because I don't need that sort of humiliation.
I do the same thing with those games because I did actually try to jump online, but I got smashed so quickly that I was just done with that.
I'm not gonna waste my time. It's a fun game though. I do enjoy it. Going back to the video game awards, the PaRappa demo came out. I was super hyped about it. Ran and downloaded it, and all it is, it's the first stage of the game. You have the little intro movie, and then you play Chop Chop Master Onion stage, and then you get the little post-stage cinematic, and then they boot you back to the title screen.
And good, bad, indifferent?
It's PaRappa. I love PaRappa. Mm-hmm. Love PaRappa. Jammer Lammy is better.
Really?
Oh, and Guitaru Man is better than Jammer Lammy in my opinion. But
oh man, if they did a remaster of Guitaru Man, holy! Oh,
I'd be all over that.
That little scene with the fireplace,
the acoustic,
acoustic
legendary theme. Yeah, yeah.
Failing all things.
I love that. I love that. But and I gotta go back and replay Guitaru Man now.
It'll only take you 20 minutes. So.
And now I gotta. But you know what I can do? I can bust out my PSP. There's a
right.
Yes, right.
Why isn't that game on PSN? Why can't I play that on my Vita?
Because it's a Koei game.
Yeah. You know what though? You can play like all the Dynasty Warriors and Warriors Orochi games are all the PSP versions are all available.
You're saying if there are games that bad on there, that obviously they should have Guru Man?
No, I'm saying Koei is not gun shy about.
I wonder if they own the rights to the music.
That might be the problem. Yeah, that could be the problem. But yeah, PaRappa. I love PaRappa. And the first one is fantastic and still holds up musically.
I loved the trailer for it. Yeah. I really liked the way they did that. The kid sitting on the couch playing PaRappa 20 years ago.
I didn't watch the trailer.
Oh, it's really cute because it starts off with like in what's supposed to look like a 90s game room.
Right.
Kids sitting on the sofa playing PaRappa the Rapper on PS1. And then it flashes forward and it's the same guy, but his hair's all gray now, sitting on the couch with his two kids.
Yeah.
Playing the remastered
PaRappa
the Rapper. The thing I thought was kind of funny, I don't know, it really sort of struck me when I saw it, is that one of the major advertising lines in that trailer is that it's 4K. But
really?
PaRappa's so simple looking.
You know what though? It looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I'll have to get the demo and check it out.
Download the demo and the cinematics look kind of cruddy because they're just
video.
They're just it's just the video files that they slapped on there. But once you get into the actual gameplay, it looks so sharp and so crisp. I was just
and here's what strikes me is that
what's that?
Just the fact that Xbox has for the past 2 years had a better lineup for holidays, but it seems like Sony now is recognizing the power of their back catalog, which is a much richer, deeper bench than what Xbox has. So it's kind of neat to see them pulling stuff like PaRappa out and Crash Bandicoot, because again, Microsoft wasn't in business during the PS1 era.
Remember that Crash Bandicoot is Activision.
Right.
But you're right. I'm just saying, yeah.
But it's great, and now I'm seeing. I have no idea how accurate these are, but I'm seeing dates being thrown around like in March. Maybe it's coming out.
Okay.
Kind of bumming me out because that seems like
that seems like a long way away for something that there's a demo of already.
Right.
Well, and Phil, remember,
as kind of simplistic as PaRappa.
Yeah.
Just Phil, remember it's my birthday in March, so that's a good time for you to shell out and
Do you think this? Did they say this is going to be a physical copy?
No.
It's just going to be download. You think?
Yeah, I'm sure. I can't imagine they do a physical version of that. And no.
Oh, I bet they will. I bet they will.
You think so?
Because it's like buying a record album or something like that. It's just something that I think, if it's at the right price, if it's like $20 or $25, that would sell really well at GameStop.
I got to say that even thinking back to when records were how you bought music, I don't think I ever heard anyone call it a record album.
Okay.
I've never heard that phrase before.
Maybe it's a Midwest thing.
It's like, well, no, I've never called it a record album either. It was always just a record, and I'm from the Midwest too. So,
all right.
Yeah, but you're older than Ethan.
It's like
you're not hip to his young lingo.
That's like, very true.
It's like playing it on the phonograph. PaRappa reminds me of when I would pop in one of the old wax cylinders and just listen to. What else have I been playing this
Gods
week?
of Megaphone?
Yeah. Monsters of Megaphone.
Monsters of Megaphone.
Don't. Oh, sorry. Man. You're gonna embarrass me at ShowCon this year.
Keep going.
Mario Maker 3DS, Greg.
Keep going.
How long you want me to talk about this?
You've got 5 seconds. Go.
It's pretty cool. I'm enjoying it.
Next.
I picked up. I broke down and bought some more Lego Dimension stuff.
They're cheap, weren't they?
They were. They're still even post Black Friday sales are popping like crazy. So I ended up picking up the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them story pack.
Better than the movie?
So far it's a translation of the movie, but I'm enjoying it more than the movie.
You didn't like the movie?
Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
I want to talk about this.
It's not bad. It's just
I kind of liked it. It wasn't amazing, but I liked it.
I mean, I'm hesitant to say it's bad. I'm just saying it didn't click with me.
Right.
You know,
I liked the whole idea of seeing the magic world in the U.S. and I liked how they kind of merged it with, not necessarily obviously because it took place way after the Salem witch trials, but how they kind of had that undercurrent happening.
It felt like three movies kind of crammed together and not very elegantly, because you had the whole gotta catch them all, my magic beasts are on the loose, and then you had the whole kind of Salem witch hunt sort of thing going on, and then you also had the kind of political undercurrent with the whatever the American Ministry of Magic was, and
it was basically what, X-Men 2?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Here's the same story. Here's a comparison I'd make, Greg. If you're looking at Marvel stuff, it's like, I was kind of hoping that I walk out of the Magical Beasts or whatever the title is. I don't like the title of the movie anyway.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Fantastic Beasts. There you go.
Well, that's based on a book in the universe.
Yeah,
but anyway.
That I understand. I was hoping I was going to walk out of that the way I did Guardians of the Galaxy and say, "Oh, neat! That was really much better than I thought." But instead, I walked out feeling pretty much the same way I did watching Ant-Man, which is like, okay. That's fine. Yeah, okay. That's basically what I thought it might be.
No.
It definitely, it was, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't as good as most, I'd say maybe not all the Harry Potter movies. I thought that Half-Blood Prince was pretty weak.
Yeah.
But, anyway.
Same here.
Yeah, didn't mean to get off track too much there, but
I got the Lego Dimension set.
Fantastic Beasts is one of the big sets, right?
Yes.
You rebuild the portal and everything. And
like the 2016 Ghostbusters, you have the new portal skin, and it's, I believe, 6 stages instead of just one stage, and it covers the whole movie.
Very cool.
So and that was like $30 on sale. So
that's a good price.
Yeah.
I have some sad news related to Dimensions to add real quick. We just this week boxed up our Dimension stuff. We hadn't played it for like 6 months, and we'll maybe get back to it another time, but it's lost its position as being out on display.
I have not touched Dimensions in a couple of months, although I have picked up some of the new sets, and although I never actually finished the main storyline. I just finished the midway levels.
Oh, okay.
In the main storyline, and then I have the midway set that I want to do, the mission pack that I want to do next.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to finish the main game. But then I picked up Sonic, and I picked up a couple of other mission packs that I haven't played yet.
I need to finish the main story as well. I've just been kind of bouncing around between the main story and all the add-on stuff for it.
I'd forgotten too that I'd forgotten that with those mission packs, and I think even with some of the team packs, you get a hub world as well.
Yeah,
that's themed. There's a ton of content in that game. It's really impressive.
Yeah, all of the various licensees have a little hub world that you can run around and explore once you own
with its own missions, and like the Simpsons one is actually Springfield, just a Lego Springfield.
Right. One of the sets I got, I picked up the Gremlins team pack.
That's the other one I picked up. Yes.
Yeah. And the Gremlins little hub world, you're actually in Kingston Falls, and it's Christmas.
Cool.
There's Christmas decorations all over, and it's snowing, and you can actually you can find the movie theater.
Oh, nice.
The movie, and you can
Are the Gremlins in there? You can go behind the seat. Oh, that's so cool.
You actually have to. There's a little mini mission when you go into the theater. It shows a quick little cutscene of all the Gremlins in the theater getting angry because there's no movie, and then it cuts to you. You're in the projection booth, and you have to solve a little sequence of puzzles to get the movie playing for them.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Oh God, I gotta watch that movie. It's Christmas time. I gotta watch that movie again.
Yes, it is.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, and I got the Sonic pack as well. I actually played through it the other day.
The trailer for that looked great.
Yeah, it's weird having a
good Sonic game,
a 3D Sonic game that's fun. Boing.
Hey, then you have not played the 3DS Sonic Boom Fire and
Apparently,
Ice.
the new 3DS Sonic Boom is good.
Yeah. I have not played it.
It is good.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
Yes, but it's really, really weird popping that in when you're so used to playing the Lego games
that are slow and plotting and.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're playing one that's super fast and has all the Sonic, the Sonic jumping sound effect and the ring collection sound effect, and it's suddenly I'm playing a Sonic game, and it's really, really weird, and it cuts through. It starts off in the Green Hill Zone, and then there's the little storyline of the level has you bouncing from different dimensions, so it's like you're in the Green Hill Zone and then you get warped into like a Sonic adventure.
Yes, I saw that in the trailer. They really ran the gamut.
Yeah, and then you end up in the was it the labyrinth stage, the underwater level.
Yeah,
and they actually do something kind of cute with the little cinema right beforehand. Sonic is remembering the underwater level, and he's like he's having a little post-traumatic stress disorder.
That was a tough level.
Well, it kind of closes in on his eyes, and you just hear the little boop, 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 boop.
That's great.
He's about to drown sound effect. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, but I played through that whole level. It was surprisingly lengthy and fun. So
just like the old Sonic games.
I recommend that you give it a go, Greg. I think you'll enjoy it.
I will at some point. I think my Christmas break I'm going to be playing a lot of that stuff. I think my son's really interested in playing that stuff, so I'll break all that out in the week between Christmas and New Year's and go through it.
Nice.
I didn't mean to make you, by the way, skip over Mario Maker 3DS. I'm sure people want to hear what you think of Mario Maker 3DS.
It's Mario Maker.
Yeah,
it's Mario Maker. It's if you like the Wii U version, you will like this. It's kind of cool to have it portable.
I still don't get the whole you can't look at
that's
other people's levels online, because even Vita's Little Big Planet allowed that, which was a much smaller game in terms of audience.
Right. But yeah, the lack of online trading is kind of ridiculous. The fact that you're sort of reduced to just having a street pass or swap locally with friends.
CJ was saying that he's done a lot of street passing down at the PlayStation Experience, and almost everybody, the game they're playing is Mario Maker 3DS. He hasn't gotten any levels yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of waiting for everyone else to make
I guess. Yeah.
So wait a second. He's down at the PlayStation Experience, and I bet he's gotten plenty of Nier hits.
Yeah, well, you would think.
So
okay, even I think Nier sucked. Okay.
Do you understand what Nier was?
Nobody does.
No, and actually it's not for the new PlayStation, the one that's the LCD screen. It's not in the initial bundle of software either.
Well, they took it out of the. It's not on the operating system at all.
That's pretty great. That's funny.
So,
but yeah, that's and although I guess the 3DS Mario Maker doesn't work with Amiibos.
Oh, that's a setback too. If that's true.
Is that true?
Huh.
I can't seem to find any way to unlock the different skins in the game.
I heard that a lot of those skins aren't in there anymore.
Which
is
one
of the things they got rid of.
Yeah, which is too bad. I mean, it's
why, because the file size was too big.
Oh,
I don't know.
But
I mean, I'm being sarcastic. I mean, there's sprites. It doesn't make sense.
Speaking of Amiibo, the new Zelda Amiibo came out this week too.
Oh yeah, I got
the 8-bit Link, the Ocarina of Time Link, and then the cartoon Link and Zelda.
The twin pack of
Yeah.
I picked up the 8-bit one.
Me too.
Yeah. I'd like to get that. I'll have to see tomorrow if they still have any in stock.
I also
wanted all of the sets, but I just couldn't afford them all at once.
I got this week. Can you see this here? I bought my first Disney Infinity figure. I got Korra.
How much was she?
From Tron. She was $4.
Nice.
At Toys R Us.
It's a shame the way Disney, not only the fact that it ended, but the way the game was, because the toys were great.
Yeah, the figures are really nice.
The figures are really well made.
Yeah. I need to find. They did not have Sam Flynn at Toys R Us, but I need to get Sam now to go with my Korra.
Oh, off game topic, but are they still doing the Tron sequel, or is that just gone?
Oh, that's been dead for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Crappy movies. Ethan, what have you been?
Hey! You leave Tron Legacy alone.
Sorry, I was looking at what you've been playing. We'll talk about that later, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I've been playing a lot more Watch Dogs 2. That game just continues to pull me in. And the unique thing that I tried this week, because it was working this week, was the co-op missions. So for the first week and a half that the game's been out, when you try to do a co-op mission, it allows you to do it, but only as single player. And that's not so fun.
That's the opposite of co-op.
Right. Yeah. They've been having server problems, and it's too bad too, because I'm almost finished with the game, and once I'm done with a main campaign, I'm going to be done with the game altogether. But those co-op missions are quite a bit of fun to work with someone else. It reminds me a lot of the cooperative play that you had in Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. So you are working with typically one other person in stealth-based missions, and it's a lot of fun to say, you take the guy on the left, I take the guy on the right, and try to get through things.
Friday night with Ethan.
Yeah, but I mean, it really is just kind of a Splinter Cell in a different skin. But the satire keeps on coming. I won't spoil anything other than to say all of the biggest companies that are out here in the Bay Area are satirized, and pretty effectively too. It's just a game with a really nice tone. I really have come to like the characters a lot more than I did when I started the game. They seem less like kind of cloying caricatures and more like real characters that care about each other, which is important. They really do things for each other, and these are nice people, which feels better than Grand Theft Auto, though, as you may have heard others talk about, it really does create this kind of disconnect with Marcus, the hero, killing hundreds of people when he's really kind of, he's an aspirational character. He's kind of hopeful that he can make the world a better place. So it's a strange thing when he pulls out the machine gun and blasts people.
Well,
I mean, what can you do? That is the same thing with Nathan Drake and all that, right? But if you are missing your Assassin's Creed fix this holiday, I would definitely say that Watch Dogs 2 fits the bill. You
can just go to the movie.
You can go to the movie, yeah. But I just like that feeling of finding all these little events to participate in. What's particularly nice is that they have a whole series of events where Marcus, the hero, has to climb to the top of a building, and it's that he doesn't have the scaling abilities of someone like Ezio. So instead of it being an easy task, you have to use all sorts of different mechanics and use a crane at times to get yourself up there. And you feel, again, very human as opposed to superhuman, which is neat. So play Watch Dogs 2 if you haven't yet. It really is good. And again, it's fun to explore San Francisco if you are familiar with that part of the world.
We'll have to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, you'd like it. You'd like it a lot. So the other ones I wanted to bring up real quick, Super Mario Brothers 2. I have found that the NES Classic just continues to be a great little thing to do when the big TV is not available. My son absolutely adores playing Super Mario Brothers 1. He hasn't quite gotten past 1-2 yet, but he felt really accomplished when he figured out how to consistently get past 1-1, how to turn Mario into Super Mario and shoot fireballs. And it's just really cool to see a 6-year-old start to play and enjoy and understand that type of game for the first time, So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really neat. And so Super Mario Brothers 2 is what I've been playing. And while I had a lot of joy playing through Super Mario Brothers 1, Super Mario Brothers 2 is good, but it's not as good as I remember it being. And this is one that I played quite a few times in the past. I actually did a strategy guide for it for Ziff Davis for Pocket Games magazine when it was coming out on the Game Boy Advance. But it feels a little bit too much like you kind of have to master the levels. The bosses don't change up very often, and I find that very few characters are more effective than Toad. He just seems to kind of be the best at everything, and I rarely use any other character.
The bosses don't change up.
Well, I mean,
bosses
I guess
change up more than Mario 1 or 3.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair. I guess my feeling is just that I'm now, I guess, spoiled by contemporary games where you see a different kind of boss on every level. So that same criticism, I guess, I would throw it at any of the Mario games. But I guess the other thing though too is that getting lives is really hard in that game. It's not clear since you don't have the 100 coins, and then you're kind of left to do the video slot thing at the end, which is fine, except for the fact that I almost never am able to land lives. I always get zero. So
because after a while you'll get so good at it, you'll get like tons of lives at the end of every level.
I hope I do, because I haven't yet. And the problem is I've then started to overcompensate by using save states all the time, and that just ultimately starts to suck the fun out of the game.
Seriously, like if you, I mean, obviously the exact tempo is not easy, but honestly, like if you're jamming on the button right away, you'll almost always get at least one cherry. You'll get an extra life almost every time. Just saying. Don't use a turbo or anything like that, but yeah.
I hope I get better at it. I'll definitely keep going. I'm on level 7-2 right now, so I'm almost done with it.
That's interesting though that you're using Toad and nobody else. Toad's really great, especially for any digging levels because he's so quick. Yeah. But I switch up characters all the time in that game. That was one of the things I loved about that game, is that there was actually a reason to switch up characters all the time.
World 4, if you're not using Peach.
Oh yeah, the ice, yeah.
And World 5 was always my Luigi world.
Was that the world that had the big waterfalls that jump from the fish?
Yep.
Yes, that was. I have lots of memories of that world.
Yeah. That's when you bust out Luigi.
So again, I'm not saying it's not a good game. I don't know if
you're wrong. It is
for me is a great game. I don't think it is a great game.
I think you're playing it wrong.
You're like,
but I want.
Wait. So what you're saying is Crash Bandicoot's better than Mario 2?
I didn't say that. I did not say that at all.
Okay. You're lucky CJ's not here, because he's a Mario 2 fan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know he likes Wart. So I want to get to the point where I can fight Wart, see the really cool ending, and then move on to 3 and feel like I've, completed.
Move on to one of the best games ever.
Yeah, and really Mario 3 is one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, yeah.
By any measure.
That's a masterpiece. Yeah.
So, but again, it's nice that the NES Classic was not one of those things that you buy, play for a weekend, and then you put in your closet. That's what Chris Baker seemed to think it would be, and it's not been that at all for me.
No.
It's one of those things that you try to buy every weekend and can't.
Apparently, at least here in the U.S., we're recording on Sunday as we typically do. I guess I believe it was Saturday, or was it this morning? I guess some Toys R Us's in the U.S. got a restock on them. And there were, of course, lines camping out overnight waiting for them.
The EB in the building where I work, they've been getting maybe one every week or other week.
Oh, really?
They never know when they're going to get them. You just have to keep checking in. I go every day at like 2:00 because that's usually when they go through their shipping and see if they have any, and they don't. They never know when they're getting them. They never get very many, if any.
Right.
Yeah.
I still can't get the stupid controller for it. I want to.
Yeah, I can't get that either. It's just $10. I really want to get it. Because I want to play 2 players with people here.
Yeah. I did find the carrying case for it finally.
Nice.
Oh, nice. The carrying case for it?
Yeah, there's
that's cool.
Yeah, they have like you can order it on Amazon, although it's of course temporarily out of stock. No, it's just out of stock. It's only $20. I found at a Target that had like maybe half a dozen or so of them in stock the other day. But
I would pick something like that up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a nice little case too. It's a nice sturdy case. It's got little cutout foam inserts that very securely hold the system.
Cool.
And it's got room in there to hold the system. It's got slots for 2 controllers, and it's got a pocket to hold the HDMI and power cables.
It just looks like a little camera bag almost.
Yeah. And then it has a cute little kind of rubberized sign or placard on the front of it that has the NES controller, like a silhouette of it, and it says like classics on there. So that's
really cool.
It's a nice little branded carrying case for it. So
it's actually a lot of carrying cases for this thing.
Yeah. I'll have to get that. I really like the system. I think it's great. So the other thing I've been spending some time on is the Vive, and I will just keep to 2 titles here. But I picked up Pinball FX2 for $14.99, and it's wonderful. Those guys put together something great.
This is the VR pinball.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So you stand, of course, while you're playing, which by itself starts to provide a much more authentic experience. But also, since everything you see is in 3D, you see that full 3D cabinet right in front of you.
That's cool.
And it's really satisfying.
Pretty cool.
And then you're pulling the 2 triggers, of course, to use the bumpers and stuff. It's they have the Walking Dead table available.
Psst.
Yeah,
they're called flippers.
Flippers, yes.
They're called flippers.
Bumpers are what the ball bounces off of.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's fun. It's very fun. And
this guy is 1/3 the way to becoming the pinball wizard.
Yeah.
He may not be deaf or blind, but
are you done?
I could spell it out.
Not for 10 years now.
Okay. So yeah, if you love Pinball FX, it's a really good rendition of it, and it feels great in 3D.
I remember when you described something a while back. I think it was for the Android VR.
Sure, the arcades.
I would love to see more of that because that's just it's so cool. Because when I was in New York a couple weeks ago and hung out with Seebeck and went to a barcade there, and man, there's nothing like standing in an arcade. And I know obviously in VR it wouldn't exactly be the same thing, but even to have a 3D representation of it would be nice.
Well, I haven't dug into it because, again, I'm always afraid of getting ROMs, because I just I'm afraid of like viruses and stuff. But apparently, there is a setup in Vive where they have a generic arcade and you can play generic games, but it's really designed to give you everything from the games, if you can find them, to the cabinet art and everything to make like whatever arcade you want.
It's like a VR skin for MAME. Basically,
yes, it's basically that. Yeah,
cool. That works for me.
Yeah. So, the other one I've been playing and enjoying deeply is a game called Raw Data. It's the best game on Vive. Most people who own a Vive would tell you the same thing. And
I've written an erotic Star Trek fan fiction by that title.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Is this probably not the same thing?
Oh no, this has Brent Spiner naked in the game.
Nice.
Much of it. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. No, it's the thing is though, and I think you're going to see a lot of this with VR, and it's something this game does kind of effortlessly, and I think it's a difference between a really good VR game and one that you're done with in 10 minutes. Because Greg, you've seen a lot of kind of novelty games that you get the gist, and after 10 minutes, even if you found it fun, you don't really want to play it again.
Yep.
The problem is building meaningful skill. So what Raw Data does is it is an arena shooter, and you see so many of those on the platform, but that's only half the game. The other half, once you just kind of get familiar with the arena shooter mechanics, is tower defense. So you're setting up turrets, you're having to keep track of the turrets, and they're helping you shoot while you're moving from spot to spot, either by yourself or with a cooperative partner. And once you start to understand that there's some real strategy involved in where you're moving on the board, and some of these are multi-leveled boards, and where you're putting the turrets and all that, it starts to feel like an experience that's worth mastering, something that is a skill-based game that's worth investing time into getting better at. And so it starts to feel more like something you'd get off of a console experience instead of just a Dave and Buster type novelty game.
Cool.
So yeah, and when you play, you really like. It's such a great thing to like actually duck behind cover that is right in front of you to avoid shots, and to move to the left or right a couple steps to avoid a bullet coming at you. You feel, and I've said it before, but you feel like you're in a Robert Rodriguez movie. And I think that from a VR perspective, we'll say there was kind of before raw data and after, because raw data defines what VR I think is going to become.
Wow. Well, if there's a chance for me to feel like I'm in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, then I don't see any reason why I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, you say that jokingly, but you'd love to be in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Of course I would. It's got that hunk from Twilight in there. And then whoever played Lava Girl.
Yeah.
I don't know who played Lava Girl.
So, speaking of VR, I finally bought Thumper.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
There's a lot of game there.
Oh yeah.
And those end bosses are awesome too.
Yeah, and I mean I'm only on. I think I'm only in level 3. No, maybe I'm level 4 now. I'm level 4. I don't know how many levels there are total, but and each stage is like, I think level 3 was split into like 20 some odd stages.
Yeah.
Level 4, I believe, is even longer. But they keep introducing new mechanics. Like I was not expecting it. I mean, the demo was quite full featured.
Oh yeah,
it was a long demo. I think it was like 12 stages. And I was curious to see what they were going to add, because that demo, there were a lot of features in the demo, and I thought it was by itself just more of that and nothing else would have been a good game, especially for like the $25 I think it costs.
Yep.
But man, like by level 3, you're actually jumping things and learning how to slam down, and and just now I'm into this scene where the level I'm in now actually has you switching lanes.
Yep.
So they're just piling on the mechanics, and it's really, really good. Like it's definitely working its way up my top 5 list for the year, I gotta say.
It takes over your senses in a super satisfying way that
it really does.
I think is on par with Rez, and I think mechanically there's a higher level of precision than Rez gives you. So I love Rez. I think Rez is beautiful, but I think mechanically Thumper is even more interesting.
Well, it's definitely more than I expected, I have to say.
Yeah. And before I forget to mention, a little public service announcement from Shuhei Yoshida. He tweeted that if you are having problems with drift in cinematic mode on your PSVR, that you should put the headset down on a flat surface for 10 seconds. So give that a try. I'm going to try that because I've been experiencing enough drift in cinematic mode to stop using that mode. So if I can use it again, that would be great.
With mine, it's imperceptible, but I'm eventually looking this way.
Yeah.
Like I'm turning a lot to the left, and yeah.
So give that 10-second stable position thing a try.
Interesting.
Hey, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Would Thumper be worth playing without VR?
I think so.
Yeah. Yes.
I think you'd really enjoy it, Phil. I mean, you like music games.
I am interested in it, but I was unsure if that was like if
I mean, it's
VR is that
VR doesn't add any mechanics. It adds a sense of immersion.
It does.
That's really all it adds, because
it's
really
just a controller game.
Yeah, I mean, it's like even when you're in VR, there's no reason to turn. There's no reason to look behind you. The game doesn't work that way. So
I would say
just on a track.
I'd still stick if you can with headphones, because that's a big part of it.
Yeah. But no, Phil, you should grab it. It's really good, and it does not require VR at all. Cool. And you're not losing anything because of it.
Cool.
Yeah, and then when you get VR, if you do, it's nice to have stuff that already runs in your catalog.
Right.
So something else that I started playing this week, and I mostly started playing this because Joel, who's a listener of the show, I can't remember his actual name. I know him as Joel Music. Joel Whitaker. I think it's Joel Whitaker. He's a longtime listener to the show, and he's also a very big supporter of Extra Life. He actually did his own stream this year for the first time, which is great. But he's donated tons of money to my Extra Life campaigns over the last 6 years. And one of the things that he asked for, like last month or so, was that he would donate. He's turned it into $10 an episode. It was $50 total for me to play and stream Life is Strange.
Which, that is such a good game.
Well, way back when Mike Phillips was on the show regularly, he kept telling me that I needed to play this, and I've had it for a long time. So I finally fired it up on Steam. I finished episode 1, and I probably about halfway through episode 2. And yes, wow, what a great game. Although I have to say, I feel old playing it. And I'm not convinced that teenagers actually talk that way. There's a lot of hell of this and hell of that, and totes adorbs, and anyway. But yeah, it's so it's basically you're playing as a high school girl. So I can relate to that, and who discovers that she can rewind time. So it's like she's stuck in a game of Forza. Really, is what. Yeah, you guys get that. Anyway,
but the mechanic, what I like is that she is as in awe of having that power as you would be if you had it, and her friends are also deeply disbelieving. So, something that was criticized, I think rightly so, in like the Fantastic Beasts movie was that people who've never seen magic before seem to take it as almost commonplace when they were, presented with it. But in Life is Strange, it's like that one thing of being able to move back time, like astonishes everyone, and that grounds it.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's kind of nice to play what's essentially a Telltale game.
Yeah,
it's the same type of game, but done by a completely different team. Yeah, and the engine is great. It runs, although I managed to crash it the other night. But
well, it's from the guys that did Remember Me.
Yes,
they're wonderful.
Yeah. So highly recommend it because I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was last week. I think the entire season was on sale for like $15.
Oh, quick thing also, given that they did Remember Me as well, they seem to have a really interesting and laudable penchant for strong female leads too. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't really know because I never played Remember Me, but I mean that is the case in this game. So, yeah, it's great little game. I really enjoy it. Like I said, and I think right now it's on sale for $15. So, if you haven't picked it up, definitely pick it up. And I'll talk about it more in the coming weeks because I'm kind of playing when I know Joel can watch, and I'm streaming it on my Twitch channel if you're interested. One other thing I wanted to touch on real quick is we had movie night the other night, and one of the other things that I found on Black Friday that was really cheap was the Ratchet and Clank movie.
Oh, right.
And all I got to say is that it was not cheap enough.
It's
not
it's
good.
Boring. It's just boring.
It's really boring. Even my 7-year-old turned around like not even halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, Daddy, I really don't like this. It's like, yeah, I'm not really crazy about it either, buddy. Like, and I went into it wanting to like it. Like, well, it's Ratchet and Clank, and yeah, like it's like I've heard that it's not great, but that's okay. I mean, I've sat through a lot of not great movies based on video games.
Yeah,
and I'm okay. I can sit through it and I can find some enjoyment. And this one's just like, God, no, it's really bad. Like
it's humorless. It's
terrible.
Dull.
The jokes are all flat.
Yeah.
You take great characters, and I mean, not all the characters in that universe are great, but I mean, Dr. Nefarious is great. Should be great. I'm saying. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of the big green guy.
Captain Quark.
Captain Quark.
Yeah.
Great character, and just completely lifeless in this movie.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Compare that movie to Wreck-It Ralph.
Compare that movie to any of the games those characters were in.
Well, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing, because the Ratchet and Clank remake is in my top 5 this year. I love that game.
Yeah, well, great games.
The game based on the movie is better than the movie.
So did they not have the original writers must not have had anything to do with this movie?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
Anyway, it's a real shame.
Well,
because they had such a rich universe to draw from.
We should get Brian Intar on the show just to talk about the movie.
I'm sure he'd love that. Yeah. Come in ready to talk about Spider-Man. It's like, no. Wait a minute.
Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this.
I will say I will say I'm glad that I saw it in the theater, though. Just to say that I saw the Ratchet and Clank movie in the theater for like the 20 minutes that it was in theaters.
Yeah, and really. You didn't even take the excuse to go that is your young son. You went and watched by yourself, didn't you?
No, I did. And when I say by myself, I mean
you were literally the only person in the theater.
I think there might have been like 2 other people in the theater with me.
That was like when we went to see Battlefield Earth.
Ooh.
And got our money back. It was great.
Ooh. Nice.
Mark McDonald. It's awesome. Let's do some tweets. So we've been going a little long here. It's already been like about an hour and a half. So Hacker Alias, Retro Amigo, Crash Bandicoot Remaster is great and all, and I agree with this. Why are they ignoring Crash Team Racing? That is the good Crash
there
game.
You go.
Oh, sure.
Crash Team Racing was great.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
That was a good game.
That is, yeah.
So that is it. Yeah, that is curious. Why are they ignoring that? It's a shame because that is awesome.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Hang on, I'm looking as we.
Here we go.
Here we go. Hacker Alias Jeff E. Solomon. If you were in charge of the Premier Gaming Award show, would you award the games or the people? And name the award show. What would you name the award show?
First of all, I would name the award show the 2016 Vita and VR Awards.
Oh God.
Oh Jesus. There we go. There we go.
No, in all honesty, yeah, that's it's an interesting question though. I think just the annual game awards or something simple is fine. I mean, Academy Awards is
the gamies.
Yeah,
gamies.
I would personally, and I feel like you guys would agree because we've all been in development. I would definitely award the members of the team by name.
Yeah,
more than the games. But I also think that, as we spoke about before, that makes some pretty boring television.
Well, and the thing is I think that the right answer, frankly, is both, because when you are watching the Academy Awards, if you're if it's best picture, it's the movie name and the producers come up to accept it. If it's best director, that's a person. Best animated film, that's a movie.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Hacker Alias Evanum. Does being a father and your love for games make any other interests go away? I used to love movies, but I can't remember the last movie I watched. As the time I have for myself, that 2 hours or so when everyone is in bed, I will always play a game. Do you guys find that you have forgotten other hobbies to keep your gaming hobby alive now that you don't have as much time?
Oh, I can so relate to what he's saying in that, I used to be a film major, and I used to jokingly refer to the Marcus Cinema near our house as my church because I'd go there all the time, right? I will only go see a movie now maybe every other month if Greg Ford hasn't seen it yet. It's even rarer is going out with my wife because we have to get a babysitter. And watching movies at home almost never happens because it just gets too late in the night. And to his point, I want to have at least 45 minutes to play a game. And it's either or, and games always win for me.
What about you, Phil?
My gaming has I don't game as much as I used to.
So the gaming is what's taken the hit?
I think so. Yeah.
No other hobbies though have taken a hit as well, or they've all sort of taken it?
Yeah, they've all taken a bit of one, but yeah, I would say that out of all of them, the playing games has certainly taken the big hit.
Well, I also struggle with the types of games too, where right now I feel like a greater professional value in playing as many VR games as I can, and I happen to enjoy them as well, but that also means fewer hours in the week towards console games than I spent last year.
Yeah, it's for me, it's I definitely don't watch nearly as many movies as I used to. There was a time when I would go to the theater like every week almost. That's a long time ago. But even even when that stopped, I mean, I used to buy a ton of DVDs. I have a huge DVD collection that I haven't touched in ages. And
you never will.
Yeah, and I don't buy a lot of Blu-rays anymore because there was a time when I would watch a movie or like every night or every other night. That was what I enjoyed doing. But basically, like what Evanum there is asking and saying is exactly the same for me. I don't tend to play a lot of games when my kids are awake. Now, my son likes to play games with me, so I will sit and play video games with him. But of course, I have 3 kids, and I would be ignoring the other 2. So we still don't even do that very often. So when they're in bed is when I play or when I have the ability to watch a movie, and I almost always pick games over movies.
Yep. Well, and this is, again, why I'm so excited about Switch, because that game experience, being able to cross over into any place I am, whether I'm on a coffee break at work or if I'm on a bus ride or at home, that to me is perfect. And I'm tempted, because I have such limited time, and we'll see if I could do it, but I may end up just switching to playing Switch games and like VR games and maybe collecting some Vita games on the side, and only playing my PS4 and Xbox if there's something that is so incredible that I just can't get it somewhere else. So like if Spider-Man starts getting 9s, okay, fine. But otherwise, just really putting all of my gaming time into the Switch and being happy with the flexibility it provides, even if the library isn't as strong.
I have never been anyone who plans their time around a system that doesn't come out for 3 months. No, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
I understand.
I can't believe how you've got your entire gaming life planned out over this system that you've never seen yet. Well, I guess you've seen it now. But yeah, that's cool. So speaking of being douchey to Ethan, Hacker Alias Blind Guardian 12, what's your guys' history with Ethan? Just wondering why you're so douchey with him.
Are we
feel like
douchey?
Aimed at Phil more than anyone else.
What?
So
I love Ethan.
If I can say this much, I think what they have to remember, we all have a history that goes way back, and I think that's why it's great for us to get a chance to talk every weekend. But I have not been on the show for 10 years. I mean, anybody jumps onto the show that's been running that long. Yeah. Unless they're deeply, sardonic and have a tone that offsets that, which I think Mike had and did very well. Mike was a fantastic fourth chair.
Mike did run Phil Control pretty well.
Yeah.
Well, Mike scares me.
Yeah.
Mike could beat me up if he wanted to, and he probably does.
But in all honesty, I mean, our history with Ethan is that Ethan started as a freelancer at Ziff Davis. He did a lot of articles for me when I was running the reviews section at EGM. You give him all the best games. All the best games. All the Game Boy Color games nobody else wanted to play.
Blade 2 is fantastic.
Fantastic.
Did you really write that?
No, Lisa Fields at Activision wrote it in her press release.
Oh, okay. Pure gold coming out of Ethan's pen back in those days.
You know what, though? That's a better review of Blade 2 than Harry Knowles' review of Blade 2. And if you know what I'm talking about with Harry Knowles' review of Blade 2.
I seem to remember that, but anyway,
just
to continue on.
Yeah.
Then, yes, Ethan worked with us full time at Ziff Davis when he was an editor at Game Now. And for what it's worth, the conversations that we have every week on the show are mirror images of the types of conversations we'd have if the four of us went out to dinner 16 years ago.
Yeah.
These are the personalities. That's what they were like then. We treat each other. We speak to each other the same way now that we did then.
Yeah.
We call each other out on our shit, and we put up with Phil's jokes and pretend they're funny. Phil's linking the Harry Knowles review in the chat here. Anyway, but this is just the way it goes, and I don't think we've ever broken Ethan.
No,
we've been trying for 16 years, but
if I wasn't having a good time, I wouldn't make the time to come.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yep.
That's pretty nice.
That's weird because I've not been having a good time for about 8 years. and here I am every week.
I like that means that there's 2 years that were good.
Yeah.
But something went bad.
That was when he was still a guest host. That's why.
No, you know what's weird? The 2 years that were good were about right in the middle.
Oh, wait, was that when I left?
I'd rather not say.
No, that can't be right in the middle because that was episode 99.
Was it really?
And we're at like 520 something.
Yeah.
One last tweet here before we go, and this is from hacker alias A Scott X, or maybe it's Ascot X. I don't know.
Ascot X,
third generation 8-bit favorite 8-bit RPGs. Give me some of your favorite 8-bit RPGs.
Oh, geez.
And not just the standard. We all know Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy. Pick something else.
I don't really have a favorite 8-bit RPG.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't get into RPGs till like the 16-bit era, and even then it was like the Phantasy Star games.
Yeah, I was going to say
like you're right. Yeah.
The one that I really got into, it wasn't the best one in the series. It's the black sheep of the series, but my first ever RPG was Phantasy Star 3 for Genesis.
Word.
And, yeah, the Generations of Doom. Well, but I just loved the way that timelines and Generations worked in it. Yeah, so I fell in love with it because I'd never played RPG. And then the other one that I really, really loved was Grandia 2 on Dreamcast.
Yeah, my first RPG was also Phantasy Star 3. And I can recognize that it's not a good game, certainly, but it was something very new to me at the time.
Yeah.
So I dug it for that.
It's my first RPG was Dragon Warrior.
Oh yeah. Did you get it free from Nintendo Power?
My friend Dave did. The guy that I played all my games with, he got it free from Nintendo Power.
Nice.
I wasn't crazy about it. I enjoyed it. We played it together. He played more than I did. Like normally when we played games together, when we weren't together, we wouldn't play that game. But he played Dragon Warrior, and I just sort of watched bits and pieces of it. I came to appreciate it later. It's actually a pretty short game. But I was crazy about Final Fantasy. Nintendo Power got me really riled up for Final Fantasy. And I vividly remember buying that because that was back when we didn't have a Toys R Us here. And so when we would go on our yearly summer trip to Maine and New Hampshire to the Portland Mall, there was a Toys R Us, and that was where we'd always buy a game. And this year that I'd gone was Final Fantasy. And of course, the original NES game came with the full color manual, came with a bunch of maps and a bestiary on one side of the map and the world map on the other side. And I had that committed to memory because we were driving. So I'd open it up and I'd literally memorize the damn thing between the time I bought it and the time we got home to play it. But that was, I know I said don't say the two obvious ones because that is obvious, but Final Fantasy was the game that I fell in love with the RPG genre. Super Nintendo was when it really took off though. And yeah, Final Fantasy 2 and 3, Phantasy Star 2 and 4, Shining in Darkness, huge one for me.
Yeah.
So not a lot of 8-bit, but a lot of 16-bit like everyone. And 16-bit is when the RPG really took off, I think, in North America. So, and Grandia 2 was good, although the first Grandia was amazing. I remember playing through that on the Saturn. I played through it in Japanese originally.
Oh, yeah. And I've heard the Saturn version is actually the best version.
It is, although the first walkthrough I wrote for Expert Gamer was Grandia on the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Nice.
The first one that was published was Final Fantasy 3 as part of the Origins collection.
Okay.
But the first one I worked on was Grandia.
Can I pretend that Lunar was an 8-bit game?
Sure.
Lunar was so good.
So good.
And I loved working designs at that time. I know Vic Ireland's kind of weirdo, but those products were...
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is, it was a different time, though, right? I mean, nobody else was doing it like they were. That's Atlas wasn't doing what they do now.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't have all these other companies as well, like NIS, and you didn't have any of those.
Right.
So they were really trailblazers.
Now, I will say this much, being someone who is collecting beta titles, I, at this point, am getting a little sick of JRPGs because, boy, there are a lot of those.
I don't understand JRPGs anymore anyway.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we do our outro?
Simply that I look forward to next week talking about Final Fantasy 15. I have picked it up. I've started doing the tutorials, and those are a lot of fun, but I haven't jumped in yet. But yeah, it just got me thinking because we were talking JRPGs, and I will say it is a gorgeous game. That can be said from the beginning.
The Last Guardian comes out this week as well.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, finally. Yeah. So that should be interesting.
We should... I don't know, actually. You know what?
Really?
Last Guardian smacks of Patreon-funded, everyone gets it, so we can all talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, someone's breaking into Seward's house. I guess what I'm saying is CJ needs to buy us all copies of Last Guardian.
I'm into that.
That would be appreciated. Especially during the holidays,
Yeah, that's true. It's getting to be that time of the year. So, CJ, I hope you
better be listening.
Coming back from PSX with 3 new copies of Last Guardian for us.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. And that's our show for this week.
Hopefully they'll make it for me having to play No Man's Sky.
There you go. Thanks for listening. If you want to, I don't know what CJ says here.
Something about...
Talks about the website.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about this episode, go to our website, player1podcast.com. Check out our blog where you can see the blog entry of this show for Sega CD, for Generation 16 stuff that I work on. And also go to our forum with our great community to talk about this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
Pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives you one-touch communication with us via the emails, the Twitters, what have you. Yes, have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening devices as well for that same $1.99.
Every bit is cheap.
You bet it is, Ethan. You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch us live most weeks, as well as catch archives of our show at the youtubes.com/P1Podcast. And if you've liked what you've heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. It keeps CJ swimming in copies of Last Guardian to give to us.
Probably not.
Well, maybe not, but a boy can dream, can't he? And if you have a couple bucks left over, you can head over to generation-16.com, where you'll find a link to Greg Stewart's Patreon for his fantastic web series about America's favorite runner-up, Sega Genesis.
I just captured the footage for the third game for this episode.
I'm going to change that to North America's favorite runner-up. Because why should I exclude Canada?
I appreciate that.
Come on. Yeah. So the new episode's coming along?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's going really well.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it as always. Greg?
Yo.
Thank you for hosting this week.
You're welcome, and I apologize in advance to anyone who's upset about the way I edit this thing this week. I'm sure I'll screw it up.
Excellent. Ethan.
Yes.
Thank you for putting up with us.
Well, you're welcome. And I was just taking a peek at your link there, and it sounds like Harry Knowles thinks Guillermo del Toro is a messy eater, I guess.
I think that's what it means, yes.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like brothers,
Harry Knowles thinking about stuff like that. That'll put a... Ooh. Yikes.
Yes. Good time being here on the show tonight.
Yeah. I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Let's do it all again then.
Koki dokie. Artichoke.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.